Hello, mindful friends. Today we're going to be talking about the mindfulness bell and how it helps us to develop self-awareness and take care of ourselves throughout the day so that we can continue showing up as our most heart-centered, authentic selves. And I love to introduce the mindful bell by telling my own experience at Plum Village in Thich Nhat Hanh's monastery in France. And at all of his centers, there is a mindful bell that rings throughout the whole center about every half hour, 45 minutes. And when this bell rings, it's inviting everybody in the center to stop whatever they're doing, whether you're talking to somebody in the middle of chewing a bite of food or working on a project, is that you just stop. And for the time that that bell is ringing, you turn inward, you take a breath, and you check in with yourself. Noticing who was I just being, how was I carrying myself, what was I saying, and what were the energies behind what I was doing. And this helps us to then kind of reassess, does this align with my intentions, and is it serving me well in this moment? And then when we re-engage, we do so hopefully in a little bit more conscious manner, a little bit more aware state. And when I first went to these centers, I had a very busy, chaotic mind. I was not very good at stopping in my day, at taking little moments of pause. I like to plow through everything until it was done. And then, as we all know, as soon as that one thing gets done, there's another one right behind it. And so I just plow through the entire day that way, trying and hoping that, well, when I get this done, I'll get a moment of break or a moment of pause. But that really never happens. It just keeps building up behind it. So when I arrived at these practice centers, even though I knew that I was engaging in the practice and in the center with the intent to develop self-awareness, to slow down, to be more conscious, I still brought that habit energy with me that was the plowing through life, the snowball that just kept accumulating. And the mindful bell was one of the things that I think helped me the absolute most and continues to help me in my daily life today. And so when I was moving through the center, every time the mindfulness bell rang, I would practice pausing, being aware of where my mind had gone, where my mouth was going, my words, and my actions. And then reassess. Was this helpful? How do I want to show up? And it was a huge challenge for me. So we at the centers are always giving working meditations. So this just means kind of a chore or a duty around the center that you're giving back and helping the center. And my duty this year was working in the gardens. And these are beautiful gardens in this beautiful setting in France, and the blue sky and the sunflowers all around you. You know, it's a perfect place to be mindful and present. But as soon as you give me a task to do, I go right into bulldozer mode and snowball mode. So I start off in this beautiful setting, remembering my mindfulness practice, trying to engage with nature, look at the beauty, and then I'd start down my row of beans, because I was picking the beans that year and collecting the beans and trying to be present at first, and then the bulldozer took over my whole being, right? And I'm seeing the end of the row. I want to get to the end of the row. I want to complete my task, because in my mind, you can't relax until you complete the task. And so now I'm plowing down my row of beans, at this meditative center. I'm like looking over to the guy next to me. Am I beating him? Am I getting more beans? Am I going faster? Looking to the end of the row, like that's my one end point, my goal, my destination. And just keep my head down until I get there. And the mindful bell would ring. And the first thought that went through my mind is, I don't have time to stop. I'm busy. I have a task to do. And then, of course, it's like not super accepted if you're the only one still moving during a bell pause, because it's supposed to be a collective energy of returning back home, taking a pause. So I would take that pause and turn back inward. And then I would start to notice this habit energy in me, like, oh my gosh, I'm at this meditative center. I'm here to find calm and peace and to understand better. And literally the only thing in my mind is get to the end of the row of the beans, like get as many beans as I can. And so I would breathe and I would notice, that was also hurting my body because I wasn't standing up or stretching. I was hunched over. My neck was tense. I was squatting the whole time. And I obviously noticed what it was doing to my connection to the other people, because instead of being present for them and enjoying them, I was competitive, stuck in my own role. I was no longer observing nature and feeling one with my surroundings, enjoying where I was. And so in the bell toll, I would recenter, come back to my intentions, and remember that it wasn't about getting to the end of the row. It wasn't about the goal, it was about present moment. And of course, then I'd go back to it, start picking my beans again, slower, more present, more aware, and inevitably within 15 minutes, I'd be bulldozing once again down the row, competitive, hunched over, not looking up. I can only see my task, and the bell would ring again. And this would happen over and over for me in retreat, and point to this habit energy in me over and over of, I'm competitive, I'm goal-oriented, I don't think I can rest till the task is complete. Tasks are never complete, so I never rest. So the mindful bell, even though I didn't switch that habit right away, started to point to the habit for me. And not in a way that was judgmental or fighting. It just points to it for you and helps you to observe. How is this showing up in your life? Who is it turning you into? When you have this going on inside you, what are you saying to other people? How are you treating them? How are you treating nature? And the more that we start incorporating this idea of a mindful pause, right? At the center, it's with a mindful bell. But you can do that in your daily life with just a mindful pause. It's developing this self-awareness. Who was I just being? What was I just saying? And, notice the effects on your body, and then remembering, who do I want to be? What do I really value? What are my true intentions? And was who I was being aligning with that? And then you can reassess and then start again. It's like every moment in the day gets to be a restart button. You take a mindful bell pause, you look inward, you see who you're being, does it align, start again. Just like me, start down the row of the beans again. You get caught up again, it's what we do, it's why these are habit energies. Get caught up again, you pause, mindful bell, breathe, assess, check in, push the restart button. The more you do this, the more self-awareness it builds, and the easier it becomes to stay within your intentions and living as your heart-centered self in everything that you're doing throughout the day. And this is how we bring that mindful awareness, that mindful presence into everything we're doing in our daily lives. The stronger your practice gets, the better you're able to recognize when you need to take those pauses, and the quicker you are at recognizing what's going on for you. What were you just experiencing? What was it bringing up? Who was it turning you into? And did that align with your intentions? So pretty soon, when you're really good at this, you can do that in 30 seconds and hit that restart button and return to being your intentional, authentic self throughout the entire day. So I invite you this week, you can program it on your phone. There are Mindful Bell apps, or just have a reminder for yourself when the phone does ring, take a pause. And pause throughout the day to look inward, to develop that self-awareness, and just ask, who am I being? How's my body doing? How's it affecting me? Does it align with my intentions? And then hit your restart button and return to whatever you are doing more aligned. If you enjoy these talks and would like to join us for group sessions or individual coaching, you can find us at newleafmindfulness.com. You can also find these teachings and many more in my book, Living from the Heart, Healing Ourselves So We Can Heal the World. You can buy that anywhere that you buy audio or print books. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you all very soon.